And now to U.S. politics. Former President Barack Obama delivered a dose of tough love to Democrats at a private DNC fundraiser over the weekend. Obama urged Democrats in despair over the state of the country to toughen up and do something. NBC News obtained excerpts of Obama's remarks from the president's team, which read in part this: I think it's going to require a little bit less navel-gazing, a little less whining, and being in fetal positions. It's going to require Democrats to just toughen up. Obama went on to say he wasn't surprised by what President Trump has done, but that he has been surprised by Democrats who, quote, stood for all kinds of stuff, who seem like they're kind of cowed and intimidated and shrinking away from just asserting what they believe, or at least what they said they believe. The former president pressed liberals to stop wallowing in disappointment and take action, saying, quote, what's being asked of us is make some effort to stand up for the things that you think are right and be willing to be a little bit uncomfortable in defense of your values. If we do our jobs over the next year and a half, then I think we will rebuild momentum and we will position ourselves to get this country moving in the direction it should.
Some tough love there, Gene Robinson, but there have been examples. For instance, I brought it up on this show, USAID. When I talked to Democrats about fighting for USAID, talking about it every day, they said, Americans don't really like foreign aid. Maybe we better stay with it. No, you've got the richest billionaire in the world shutting down relief funding for the poorest children in the world, for the poorest of God's creatures, and they're afraid that Peoria may not like it? I mean, please, come on. It's like, sometimes the answer is far more simple than a lot of politicians and pollsters.
Barack Obama, shut up, man. Just shut up. You know, the thing is, man, you're up there. You're telling Democrats, most emotionally unhinged, violent little people, little girls. I'm sorry, I don't mean that, sexist, but you're telling the most emotionally unhinged people. Again, get out there and protest. Get out there and yell, scream, make your voices heard. Because, again, the way they make their voices heard is violence, is tearing stuff up, whatever. And, again, that's what the man wants. Can people not understand that? That's what the man wants. He wants them to get out there, tear stuff up, and go crazy because, again, he's going to blame it on Trump. It's like what they all do. The thing is, man, they're the ones actually inciting violence, but they accuse the right of doing so. They accuse Trump of doing so. But, in fact, it is them inciting violence. And the thing is, man, you can't get milk from a stone. You can't. And, telling Democrats, man, toughen up, do this, do that. Again, you're trying to get milk from a stone. You're not going to get it. So really what Barack Obama wants is chaos. He wants chaos. Again, Trump is doing nothing but shutting off the border. He shut the border up. He's deporting people that are here illegally, which again is something that Barack Obama did at one time. They used to call Barack Obama the deporter in chief. So again, the whole thing is hypocritical. It really is. But the fact of the matter is, you're telling the most emotionally unhinged people, your pink hair bitches, to protest, to riot. Because, again, that's what they know. That's the only thing they know to do to make their voices heard. You understand? Anyways, I want to put up a clip of Stacey Abrams. Now, Stacey Abrams, she ran for governor of Georgia several years ago against Brian Kemp or whatever. But the fact of the matter is, she was on CNN. And, kind of talking about what Barack Obama is doing. And again, saying just how virtuous that, the Democrats are, when in fact they are anything but. Watch.
With me now, the two-time Democratic nominee for governor of Georgia, Stacey Abrams. She's the author of the new novel, Coded Justice, available in stores tomorrow. Now, Stacey, I want to get to your latest fabulous novel in just a moment. But first, what is your response to former President Barack Obama's quite blunt message to Democrats, talking about getting out of the fetal position? Is that how you would describe the state of the Democratic Party right now?
I think people are trying to grapple with the unraveling of what we have assumed for a very long time was a nation impervious to the type of autocracy and authoritarian regime that we see unfolding in front of us. But I think the response is in line with President Obama, which is that we've got to take action. We can't simply react. We have to lead. And that means not just those who are elected officials or those who are party officials. It's anyone who shares our values, anyone who believes in fairness and opportunity, who believes in dignity and in justice. We are the ones who have to take leadership and ownership of this moment. We've got to show that democracy can deliver, but that doesn't just mean those who are in elected office. It means anyone who sees a neighbor in need. We lead with our values, so we show up and we help. And yes, that's our job in this moment. What they want us to do with their attempt to freeze our sense of capacity, they want us to just curl into the fetal position. But what we've got to remember is that before we had money, before we had power, we had each other. And the way we get back to power, the way we save our nation from those who want to tear it apart, is that we stop waiting for someone to come and help us and we do it ourselves.
First of all, man, they had no values. The Democrats had no values. They had none. You know, the fact of the matter is, man, they say they have, we have values. We vote with our conscience. We have compassion. We do what's best for people. No, you don't. You don't do what's best for people. You do what's best for you. That's really what you're doing. You know, again, you're wanting to get up there and you want to say, oh, look at me, look at me. I want people to have a home. Come into our country. Come in. You know, again, without regard to our own people, to our fellow countrymen and women. You know, again, they don't care. They really don't care. They don't care what crimes they commit. They don't care really what happens. And it's very evident, very, very evident. Again, they want to get rid of laws, certain laws, where, you know, where again, people can go into certain cities, they can shoplift up to $100 or whatever it is, up to $1,000. I'm sorry. And again, they don't go to jail. They don't go to jail. You know, again, this step is insane to me. That again, we're going to let millions of people in under Joe Biden, millions and millions of people in to this country. And again, nobody cares. Well, you know, again, they came from bad areas. We got to help them. We got to help yourself, help your country, get things going here well first. No, we don't need people from, from Venezuela. We don't need people from anywhere in Central America. Any of these, I mean, no offense, man, shit whole countries. We don't need them. But again, they pretend they're virtuous, they're loving, they're compassionate. And the fact of the matter is they're not. They're anything but. But again, Stacey Abrams and each other, like, you know, yeah, we lead with our values, with our, you know, no, you don't. You have no idea what they are. So, guys, I wanted to bring you a clip from CNN of Ana Navarro, kind of disagreeing basically with Barack Obama. She's kind of upset because, again, she does not feel like what he said was right, that they got to stop whining, they got to stop, they got to toughen up, they got to, that kind of leads to a situation to where a white man gives his opinion. Oh my God, a white man gave his opinion, and she does not like it. He kind of has a meltdown. Watch.
Having been at the No Kings protests with a lot of Democrats, last month, a few weeks ago, there were protests in thousands of cities, millions of people out there protesting in small cities and big cities, small protests and huge protests, defying the fear, defying the reign of terror and retribution that Donald Trump is trying to impose on America. And so I think people are doing it. I don't know that this idea of let's find a messiah that leads Democrats out of the wilderness is going to work. I think he's right on that. But I see daily people rising up, amplifying the abuses that are happening under this administration and fighting back in their own ways, whether it's on social media, whether it's showing up in a protest, whether it's showing up to vote in some of these special elections. I see them doing it.
No, I mean, I understand what you're saying. I think you're definitely being hyperbolic. You talk about a reign of terror. When the doomsday alarm from Democrats or from media critics is always at a 10, it doesn't hit the same on it.
Also, I want to respond to you saying that I was hyperbolic when I talked about a reign of terror.
That is hyperbolic.
No, it might be hyperbolic for you as a white man.
Oh, okay.
It's certainly not hyperbolic for me
being
as a
racist
Latino.
now.
No, I'm not being racist.
It's to dismiss my opinion for being a white
No,
man.
I'm not
is
dismissing
racist.
your opinion. I
Yes,
am telling
you
you
are.
that the Latino community, the brown
lot of them
community
disagree with you.
in
You do not
America.
speak in one voice
Okay,
for
well,
them.
let me speak with my voice. I mean, you said I was being hyperbolic.
you
Let me
insulted me
respond.
racially, sure.
I'm not. You being a white man as an insult?
When you invoke it to dismiss my
Being a
opinion,
white man
yes.
as an insult?
When you invoke it,
Are you?
as an
Do you
argument.
think? Do you think Latinos are living under circumstances
I'm
that
gonna
other
hit
people may
pause
not
on
be
this
right now
conversation
in
because
this country?
We're about to have a whole conversation about that very thing. But I just want to make a point that, Brad, all she's saying is that her view of the situation is different from yours. I don't think that's an
She
insult.
basically said I'm wrong because I'm a
No.
white
She
man.
just said I see it.
No,
She
I said I see it differently
She
because
said
I'm an
I
immigrant
see it
Latina.
differently from you, which is not an insult. It's not, and it's also not a racial
also
insult.
not an explanation why
But
I'm wrong.
we have.
I mean, you can tell right there that Abby Phillips and Anna Navarro, they have no idea what the hell they're talking about. They don't. You know, again, privilege in this country is afforded to minorities only. White men do not have privilege. White men are the most hated species in this country, in the Western world. And again, not because it's justified. No, of course not. You know, the fact of the matter is, man, this is a white country. It was founded and built by white men. It's always been a white country. Since the founding of this country. And right now we're down to 60% of a majority. But the fact of the matter is, white people, especially white men, they have bent over backwards in recent years, especially to accommodate everyone. And again, you can say whatever it is you want to say disparaging about a white man. You can say whatever you want to say. And again, people applaud you for it. They applaud you for it. But if you say the exact same thing about them, about a black or brown person or about a LGBTQ or whatever, you're horrible. You are absolutely horrible. And again, maybe you don't know something, Anna Navarro, because you're black, or in your case, brown. Maybe you don't understand something because again, you're brown. You have no idea. Abby Phillips, maybe the fact that you don't understand something is because you have your black privilege. You can say whatever it is you want to say, whatever it is you want to say. And again, in this country, there's a very lazy way of looking at things. Any kind of disparity between white people and black people, between black and brown, between white and brown, between men and women, people look at that and they think, well, it's got to be due to racism. It's got to be. It's like there's so many other factors involved with that. You know, again, you could go through the list of culture, of everything else that goes along with that. But, you know, to label that everything is racism, it is lazy. It's stupid. And right now in this country, it's been this way for many years. Again, it's open opportunity to anyone that's willing to do what they have to do. As a matter of fact, we have DEI programs and we have affirmative action programs and whatever. And we allow that. We allow companies to have that, which is the only legal form of discrimination there is. But anyways, guys, man, if you would, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Thanks.